Hi Libra, this is going to be your reading for the first half of July 2018. Thank you so much for all of your views during the month of June. You did come in a very close third here for the bonus reading for this month, but I think Cancer was slightly ahead of you and Aries actually did have the most views. But, you know, every month I am going to be doing this. So the sign that does have the most views will get the bonus reading. We're using the Gilded Tarot, we're using the Psychic Tarot, and we're using the Romance Oracle cards. So, card at the centre, Knight of Pentacles. Very slow energy here, okay? Always gets to his destination, but, you know, takes his time. Very methodical, crosses all the T's, dots all the I's. You know, is this how you're feeling at the moment, Libra? That you feel you're moving in the right direction, but you may feel as though something is taking its time, or for you to achieve something, it's taking its time. You may feel that you're dragging your heels. You know, if this is how you're feeling though, please know that you will get what you want in the end. But as I said, it is a slow moving energy. If this is something that's coming into you, something that's being offered to you, again, it may have been something that you've had to wait some time for. With the past coming through, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So this is juggling. Now look, maybe for some of you, this has been juggling with a decision here or a choice. And you may still be wrestling with this in the month of July. But for some of you, it could be that you have been juggling finances. That maybe, you know, you have kind of been robbing Peter to pay Paul. Maybe finances have been a bit tight in the recent past. And you've coped, you've managed, but it may have been a bit of a struggle. In the present, we've got the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands does touch on conflict. The thing with the Five of Wands, though, is it is more pettiness. It can be people that are not listening to each other. People who want their point of view heard and they're shouting over others and no one's listening to each other. So you can't work anything out. You can't get any results here because everybody's just opposing each other. Everyone wants their voice heard. Sometimes the Five of Wands can talk about internal struggles and issues, okay? So maybe some of you have been going through some internal struggles, but that won't be for all of you. In your advice position, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this card's come out quite a bit today in my readings. And the Nine of Pentacles, you know, it can be the card of success. You know, the lady in the card, her finances are okay. And she's creating something in her environment that she wants, that's going to bring her happiness. It can be the card of independence. You know, doing things on your own, creating successes on your own. In your environment, we have the Six of Pentacles. Now, this can be a card about making sure there's an equal offering here of give and take. Keeping those scales balanced. You not giving too much, but also not taking too much. And again, if you're dealing with somebody else like that. But going back to the Two of Pentacles, if you've been juggling with finances, this Six of Pentacles can very much talk about how maybe, you know, one of your friends has been very generous to you. Because the Six of Pentacles can talk about a gift or generosity from another person. And quite often, you know, somebody being generous, and they don't expect this debt to be repaid. They've done it purely out of friendship, and they've done it purely because they can afford to be generous and they can afford to assist and help somebody else. So they do it from a place of generosity. So that could be the situation there for some of you, okay? And maybe that Nine of Pentacles there in your advice is you trying to maintain some financial independence and trying to become successful and trying to do that on your own. But it may be that you've needed some help from some friends. And if this is the case for some of you, then I feel this Five of Wands is talking more about internal struggles rather than petty conflict with other people. In your hopes and fears, we have the Hangman. So, you know, the Hangman feeling restricted maybe, feeling in limbo, needing to change one's perspective, needing to gain some fresh insight. You know, maybe for some of you, this is something you're hoping for, that at the moment you may be feeling, maybe you are feeling the constraints financially. And, you know, it's a case of, well, I don't feel able to make any take any direct action at the moment. I don't feel able to make any moves at the moment. But maybe for some of you, this is something you're fearing, that you're fearing being stuck and not being able to make the forward movements you want. Because again, I keep coming back to maybe having some financial issues or struggles in some way. Outcome, Five of Pentacles. So Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. Yes, that can be. But again, financial hardships with the Five of Pentacles. But the thing is here, when we're dealing with financial hardship, it's not a permanent situation. There is going to be improvement here. Next card, Four of Pentacles. So holding on. Now, it could very well be for some of you, because sometimes this Five of Pentacles can touch more on our fear than the reality. Because with the Five of Pentacles, there is assistance. Behind this window here, there are people that can help these people, but they have to realize it. And that's why I do feel that this Six of Pentacles is somebody helping you out. But if that's not the case, then yes, equal give and take. So look, Five of Pentacles may be a fear of financial loss or financial hardship, but not the reality. But if that is the case, it is something you're fearing, then maybe this Six of Pentacles is you giving too much. Maybe the scales are not balanced, and maybe you've been assisting somebody else or giving too much of your finances away. Because the Four of Pentacles is about holding on tight. Holding on tight to your finances. Have you held on too tight to the point where you've become miserly? Or is this a message here to hold on to your finances, because otherwise maybe somebody else is going to bleed you dry? Now, the next card we've got is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, again, can be somebody coming in, offering something. The Wands is passionate energy, yes, but it can also be something creative. So, you know, I feel some new offer coming through here. Yes, the Knight of Wands can talk about somebody coming in and out of your life. I don't feel that. I feel it's something new being offered to you that may stir your passions, and something that as I said, could be very creative. Some new venture. Here, last card, Empress. Lovely card. Empress, you know, can talk about material and emotional abundance here. The Empress is, you know, the birth of something new. Something new coming through, something new being offered here. As I said, you may have gone through financial hardships and needed assistance. You may be fearing financial loss and holding on to your finances, or you may have incurred some financial struggles due to you giving too much to somebody else. The card at the bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands. So this is now waiting to see the results, waiting for our ships to come in. We've come from the Two, where we need to make a choice, a decision. And now we're waiting to see what's going to happen, to see what results are going to come into us. Your card from the Psychic Oracle is Mental Conflict. You know, this card very much reminds me of the Nine of Swords, where we're in our head too much, where we're worrying and we're stressing. And in that case, we can be our own worst enemy. We could be overthinking something. Are we overthinking and worrying too much about this financial situation? Your Romance Oracle cards, because I feel this reading is more in terms of finances, of new ventures, of work. Romance Oracle, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So, you know, maybe you have met somebody and there is a difference of opinion there when it comes to your religious beliefs, or how you both view relationships based on your upbringing and your spiritual beliefs. Now that may be a very tiny few of you here who are going to resonate with that card, because to me, when that card comes up, and it hardly ever comes up in my readings, it is a very specific message there. Next card, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So, you know, whether this is talking about maybe somebody new coming into your life, whether this is talking about somebody that's already in your life, you know, the card is asking you to make the effort. Okay, Libra, that is your reading. Thank you so much and take care. Bye.